Good morning, students. Myself, Major Komal Katyal, Department of Zoology, G.K. Gawani Government College, Bhinmal. Today, I will begin a series of lectures on blood circulatory system. It means regarding the physiological part of the blood circulatory system. In the first lecture, we will discuss about the structure and function of blood. Now, what are the main functions performed by the blood? As you know, blood is responsible for various types of transportation. First, it is responsible for transportation of gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. It is responsible for transportation of waste products, and ultimately the filtration occurs in the kidney. It is responsible for transportation of nutrients which are absorbed in the intestine. It helps to remove the toxin from the body, first through liver while bile and into the feces, then second through the urine. It is also responsible for uniformly maintaining the body temperature in the case of human being and other endothermic animals. So we are talking about the control of body temperature in the case of endotherms. It is responsible for protection against infection, that is working as a part of the immune system. It is also responsible for healing of wound due to formation of a blood clot. It is responsible for maintaining the ionic balance inside our body. It is also responsible for maintenance of water balance. It is also responsible for maintaining the blood pressure. The pressure which is exerted by the flowing blood on the walls of arteries and veins is defined as the blood pressure. And it is also responsible for the lymph formation, which is the tissue fluid. So these are some functions of the blood. Now let us consider the composition of blood. Blood makes up approximately 6 to 8% of our total body weight. A normal adult blood volume is 5 liters. It may increase up to 5.5 liters in a human being which weighs more than 70 kg. Blood is made up of cellular material in a fluid called plasma. Its specific gravity is 1.050 to 1.060. It is 5 times more viscous than water, and it is slightly alkaline with a pH value of 7.4. So these are some characteristic features of the blood. Now let us discuss about its composition. Blood is a circulating connective tissues consisting of 3 types of cells: the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles, also known as erythrocytes; white blood cells or white blood corpuscles, known as leukocytes; and platelets, which are thrombocytes. The cells listed above are suspended in a liquid known as the plasma. Now, what is formation of blood? Hematopoiesis is the term used for the formation and development of blood cells. In adults, the cellular elements are produced in the bone marrow, that is specified specifically in the red bone marrow of the longer bones. Some WBCs are produced in the lymphatic tissues and bone marrow. Lymphatic tissues may be the lymph nodes like tonsils. Blood cells need certain nutrients to form properly, and these examples include iron, which is required for the formation of respiratory pigment, that is hemoglobin in human being; folic acid, it is responsible for maturation of RBC, and similarly we also required cyanocobalamin, that is vitamin B12, a vitamin of B complex series, for proper development of erythrocytes. All blood cells forms come from a hematopoietic stem cell, and these cells can become any type of blood cell. Now let us discuss the composition of blood. Blood is made up of cells that are suspended in liquid called plasma, which we have studied just before. Plasma makes up 55% of the blood. It is made up of 90% water and 10% of proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, amino acid, antibodies that are the immunoglobulins, hormones, electrolytes, waste, salts, ions. While the blood cells make up the remaining 45% of the blood, that is the leukocyte, erythrocytes and thrombocytes, and out of this the red blood corpuscles make up the 99% of the blood cells. White blood cells and platelets make remaining 1% of the blood volume, as already shown in this slide. Now let us discuss about the composition of blood further. Each type of blood cell performs a different function. The erythrocyte, red blood cells, responsible for carrying the oxygen via respiratory pigment. White blood cells, the leukocytes, are responsible for carrying out the function of immune system, and platelets, the thrombocytes, which are responsible for carrying out the function of blood clotting. Now we will discuss about one by one different type of blood cells. First, the erythrocyte or the red blood corpuscles. सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे लाल रक्त कणिकाओं के बारे में. They are the most abundant cells in the blood. Approximately 4 to 6 million per microliter of blood the RBCs are present. They are formed in the bone marrow, and in the case of mammals, the mature RBC do not have a nucleus. Exceptions are there. In the case of llama, the nucleus is present, or the RBC is nucleated. They are shaped as a biconcave disc, as shown in this slide also. The diameter is approximately 6 to 8 micrometers and lifespan of approximately 4 months, that is 120 days. Hemoglobin, that is the iron protein, is found in the RBC, and this hemoglobin, which is a type of chromoprotein or a conjugated protein, is responsible for carrying oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the body, and then carrying carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs to be exhaled. Now the second one, the white blood cells or the white blood corpuscles. अब हम बात करेंगे श्वेत रक्त कणिकाओं के बारे में. The leukocyte or WBCs are the largest size blood cell and lowest in number in comparison to the other blood cells. Their number varies from 4,500 to approximately 11,000 per microliter. They are formed in the bone marrows, and some of them are formed in the lymph glands. They are the primary cells of immune system, and they fight against the disease and foreign invaders. Contain nuclei with DNA, and the shape depends upon the type of cell. It means the shape of nucleus varies from type of leukocyte to type of leukocytes. Certain WBCs produce antibodies, and such type of WBCs are basically plasma cells, which are the B lymphocytes. Their lifespan is from 24 hours to several years, and size varies from 8 to 20 micrometers in diameter. There are 5 different types of WBC. We can broadly classify them into 2 categories, the A granulocytes and granulocytes. The granulocytes are further divided into type of stain they absorb. If they absorb the neutral stain, they are the neutrophils. If they absorb the basic stain, they are the basophil. And if they absorb the acid stain or acidic stain, they are the acidophil or eosinophil. The agranulocytes include the lymphocytes and monocytes. The lymphocytes are further divided into three categories: the T lymphocytes, the B lymphocytes, and NK lymphocytes, while the monocytes are short-lived and they metamorphose into macrophages when they enter the body tissues. Now about the thrombocytes or the blood platelets. They are formed in the bone marrow. They are the fragments from the cytoplasm of megakaryocytes, and they are the smallest of the blood cell with diameter of 1 to 4 micrometers. Their shape can be rounded or oval, and they appear spiky as shown in this slide also. Their lifespan varies from 8 to 12 days. They are involved in the clotting process, and they are responsible for sealing the wounds and thereby prevents the blood loss. They help to repair the damaged blood vessels. Approximately 1,50,000 to 4 lakh thrombocytes are present per microliter of blood, and platelets stain bluish with reddish or purple granules. So this is about the platelets. Thank you.